Would you look who it is?
Jonny Key, welcome back to the vlog.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
We just got to the hotel. I'm here with
Jonny Key.
I feel great. A little scared about what's gonna happen at night, but I feel good.
He needs me.
Let's go, Luke! Come on! Luke Talbot. What a race.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. We hope you're all doing well. It's your favorite blonde duo, Luke Talbot, Jonny Key. Jonny, it's a Tuesday morning. It's honestly quite chilly here. It's like 50 degrees this morning when I started running, which is honestly beautiful. I love this type of weather. It's the best running weather. I think we'd both agree.
No, absolutely.
And for the first time in quite some time, we actually both ran this morning. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
Dude, I don't know if it's the roids or what it is, but I just woke up and normally when I wake up it hurts, but it didn't hurt. And the doctor kind of said, before I go to this next doctor, just do whatever makes it mad. And so I just decided to run. And I looked at the weather, and because it was like 8:30, I was like, oh, it might be, blazing outside. But it was 60 degrees. So then I thought, okay, I might just go for a little 3-4 mile run. So that is what I did. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. How was your run?
Honestly, it was really nice. I did a little workout this morning. Obviously, you know that. And if you follow me on Strava, you probably saw it. 8-mile threshold with 4 200s. And I negative split the 8-mile threshold, which the goal was to run the first 4 miles at 6-minute pace. And then if I felt good, I could go down to 5:50 for the next 4. I started off a little slow, which I don't think is all that surprising given what happened last week. Like last week was just rough. Like it was honestly probably one of like the worst feelings I've had in a long time. So I'm not really all that surprised that I was like a little struggling at the beginning just to get back into rhythm. But yeah, I just started negative splitting. I went like 605, 604, 602, 601, and then I went like 59, 57, 55, 51. So just a nice little negative split threshold. I felt really good. Heart rate was really solid, and got some 200s in after. So vibes are pretty high from that.
Very solid.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's was it 9:30 right now, and I have work at 1. I've worked 1 to 5 today, which sucks on a workout day because I double on workout days, and that means that I have to go. I'm probably going to run outside. It'll be like 72 degrees around noon, and I'm just like, it's not that bad. So I think I'm just going to go run. I got 30 minutes today, so I'll just head over to the canal. I'll run from work onto the canal, 15 out, 15 back. Nothing crazy, but then I just have to sit at work for 4 hours right after I finish running. I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Not ideal. Not ideal. But, we push through, and it's just a beautiful day. It's race week for me, which I'm really excited about, and we will talk about. But before we talk about that, we never updated the fans on what happened last week. Well, we haven't had the chance, obviously, because you got the results from your doctor last week after we had recorded the podcast. So I know you talked about a little bit about it already, but just a quick update. Jonny obviously has some problems. Got some tests done. What'd you get? An MRI?
Yeah, I got an MRI.
So what happened with the MRI? What results came back?
Well, first off, MRI was already freaky. Or it wasn't like freaky, but it was like, bro, I had to get stabbed. I did not like that. But it was fine. So went back on Friday, and the girl takes us to the room, and like my MRI is already pulled up, and so I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, what the frick am I looking at, dude? Like, and we sat there for like 20 minutes, just me and my dad. I was like, Dad, like, how the frick do I read this? So I like look it up online. I'm like trying to decipher what it looks like, and like part of me is like I hope it's something so that I'm not going insane, But Doc comes in, he's like, or the PA comes in, he's like, so you do have a tear in your labrum. He's like, there's 2 things we can do. He's like, we could give you a surgery. You're out 4 to 6 months. There's no guarantee you'll ever be back to where you were at. But he's like, here's the thing, is if you keep running, you might tear it again. And so, and also, bro, my flipping bone, it like impinges on my, I don't even know, but they said that has like a tendency to tear. So they said that if they did surgery, there's no guarantee that I wouldn't just tear it again.
Mm.
But then the other thing they said is they don't know if it's causing like all my stress related issues on like my left leg. So like last week I was running fine, or I guess 2 weeks ago. It feels so long. But it was like my left leg was just in shambles. Like my IT band hurt. Like I could barely like. It hurt to sleep. It hurt to do everything. I could barely walk upstairs and stuff like that. And then like shins, like a lot of just hurt a lot, bro. And I do so much,
Everything hurt.
I do like everything that I was supposed to do. So I told him I was like, my like right hip, like it is honestly like fine. But I don't know if it's just causing issues on like my left leg or if the left leg hurts so bad that I don't notice my right leg. Like I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And so he's like, okay. He's like, here's what we're gonna do. He's like, you're gonna see my running lady. He's like, if anyone knows what's going on with runners, it's gonna be her. He's like, so we do have to do something about your labrum. But he's like, I'd recommend put you on roids this week. Not like Parveshcon, but he's gonna put me on roids this week. And then I go see the doctor next Monday, and then I see him in another week, and then we're gonna talk about like doing injections until my career is basically over. So I think running after college has already been decided for me, which sucks, but it is what it is.
So basically, to summarize that, you had pain on which was the original hip that you turned your labrum on? Right or
Right,
left? So
right.
you had pain on your right leg, and then it went away, and they did the test. You had a torn labrum, but you told the doctor that you had pain on your left leg, the opposite leg of your where the tear is, and they
Yeah,
said, well, that's not coming from the tear, and we don't know what it's coming from. So next Monday, we'll get you in with the woman who can tell you what the problem is.
yeah, basically.
So
Basically,
basically, Johnny's in shambles.
basically. But I will probably, I don't know. I do have to do something about my hip, obviously. So I
Yeah.
think gonna do injections, hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the lady says on Monday.
Yeah, I guess like the next question is obviously you ran this morning. You're probably going to run a couple more times before Monday to try to, like you said, piss it off and try to
Yeah.
help her figure out what the problem is, which to be fair makes sense that you might want to piss it off because like if it is like if it inflames or like if the problem gets worse and it makes it more obvious whenever you're doing the test, like that helps her.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously if there was nothing wrong, then it probably wouldn't be a problem to run on, of
Yeah.
course. So, yeah, the thought process right now is you have two options. You get surgery, you're out for 46 months, or you do injections, like you said. If you do injections, would you still run this season?
Probably. Johnny Key's body is known for getting back into things pretty quickly, but I don't know because cross country like it seems like a long season, but it really isn't all that long. Um,
It feels
so
long because you start in the summer. It's like because
yeah,
all of summer running is preparing for because there's already been meets. Last weekend was the first meets of the season. Like
yeah,
it's crazy that it starts already. So like I agree. You start in the summer and then it starts. Cross country season starts. So
yeah. I don't know. Probably just gonna take it a week at a time, see how it feels. See, I mean, as of right now, I think this season's kind of chalked, but who knows? You never know what can happen. So I mean, just hope for the best, really.
yeah. So injections, would that be like multiple until you get the surgery, or would it be like you have like 2 to 3 injections and then you don't do any more until you get the
No,
surgery?
I don't know how like or I don't even know how it works, but I would just get like injections every so often until after I was done running, and then I'd get surgery to fix me up, and then
Gotcha. So that would be injections for the next year and a half. Because
or 2 years. We don't know. We
if you
don't
do a
know.
fifth year,
Yeah,
wow, wow, that is crazy to think about.
yeah.
I mean, and I mean, I could not imagine running 2 years with a torn labrum, but I guess like if that's your best option to continue to compete in
See,
college, you know.
see, like some like I don't know how to explain it, but he was saying like some people like don't even know that they have a torn labrum. It's just like another thing in like their injury list. And because I told him, I was like, it doesn't hurt whenever I sit or like whenever I do this. It was just whenever I started running in the summer, like it hurt so bad, and it kind of slowly just got better, like very slowly.
Huh. Very interesting.
But yeah, like right now, I don't feel it on my run. I barely feel it. It does feel like something's there. It just feels like it's tired or sore though. So the
Gotcha.
injections would be like to deal with like the pain and just to where like I wouldn't feel it, I guess.
So I guess next week we'll get the final answer of whether or not
Not
there's
really.
more than just a. Well, I mean, like the final answer of whether or not there's more than just a torn labrum.
Yeah, I don't. Coach Steve thinks there's like some like imbalances within my body that's just causing me to crumble because he doesn't
Looking
think
at
it's
your
stress
feet,
related.
I'd see it.
Yeah, he doesn't think it's stress related because I've only done like 50 miles. Like, I've never even
Yeah.
done like 60 something. So
No, I definitely hear that.
yeah, it's just weird. Sucks. Oh well, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
We move on.
Yeah. And you being on roids is a great transition into talking about roid use in the NCAA
Yeah.
because, oh my goodness, wouldn't you know it? The absolute stud freshman coming out of nowhere from India, Parvez Khan, he got caught for using steroids. What was it? EPOs to be specific, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And man, I need to go back and listen to the podcast where we started talking about him in the spring because I don't know if we specifically said it. And I feel like we probably said it out like not on the podcast specifically just because like there's times when we talk about things that were like, oh, this guy came out of nowhere, like I wouldn't be surprised to hear if he was on steroids. And that was something me and you had talked about with Parvez Khan specifically, but it's not something that you want to voice like as a public opinion because I feel like it kind of just discredits the sport and you never want to assume that somebody is on steroids, which sucks. I mean, Mokatir was talked about like, oh, this guy's making crazy jumps, like this is insane, but I would have never like went out of my way to say, yeah, he's on roids for sure, because like you just don't want to assume that, even though, many runners say that, there could be up to like 40 to 50% of professional athletes on steroids, like on banned substances. And I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but like, if there is a Oh God! If there is, I just sent Will the workout that our team is doing, and he said, "Oh Lord."
Well,
Yeah, Will.
tempted.
Yeah. Willie boy. I
I've seen
sent
it.
him the Woods post. Yeah, he said, "Oh Lord, no thanks." Anyways, we talked about it a little bit about like I honestly would imagine that majority of these pro runners, or maybe not. I don't want to say majority, but like
I would.
there's definitely a good chunk of them that are taking banned substances, but under the under the legal limit, I guess. Like they're not taking more than they're allowed to, which it's like, there's a reason why there is a limit to begin with because some things are found naturally. You take caffeine, for an example. What caffeine does to you, like it absolutely should be a banned substance. There's no reason that it shouldn't be. And like you see in the NCAA that there's a legal amount, which is like you said, it's like 600 grams or something crazy like that.
It's something like
It's insane.
ridiculous, dude.
It's insane. I take a third of that before my workouts. I take a 200 milligram caffeine tablet, and like even that for me, I think is more than enough. I probably could take like 150. But like realistically, if caffeine wasn't so easily like found in modern day era, like you get it in your coffee and energy drinks and what all this stuff, right? Like if it wasn't easily Oh, my timer's going off for ice. Sorry about that. If it wasn't
Oh,
so
you're right.
easily founded, like we shouldn't realistically be allowed to use caffeine for the effects that it has on you. That being said, it's so easily like available and it's like hard to like not have caffeine when everybody drinks coffee besides
Mhm.
me, of course, and I don't think you drink coffee, do you? I'm gonna
I
say I've never seen you drink coffee before.
I've had like 4 Celsius in my day.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
I remember us talking about that during the spring about you taking a Celsius before your race, and I was like,
Dude,
"Well, it worked this time, so I guess I'm doing it next time."
yeah, it did, bro. It worked. I watched you, and I mean, I like burped up, and like my mouth like tasted like grape the rest of the time. But I mean, like it was
Isn't
fine.
Celsius banned in Division 1, or it was for a couple years? I'm pretty sure it is, or it
I
at least
think
was.
it only comes up if you have like a lot of them.
I don't know.
If
Either way,
if it is, I don't think it was Celsius. I think it was something else.
yeah, you took a Red Bull or something. Let's just put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Or
Um,
I think I just drank coffee.
yeah, there we go. Anyways, there's certain substances that are just always going to be found. I mean, you have people that say like Adderall, for an example. You have people saying that they're prescribed it and that's why they have to take it. And whether or not that prescription is realistic or not for the effects of Adderall, there's no way to like prove that in a sense.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that the same thing with like the inhaler? Like some people would just take like a million puffs. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I think there's certain restrictions on inhalers in like throughout the sport to where I don't know what it is. I truly don't, so maybe I shouldn't be
Yeah.
talking about it, but like I'm pretty sure there are restrictions on when you can and cannot use inhaler. Like you can't just like use it in the middle of a race. There's no way they're just going to let you walk off to the side and grab your inhaler and use it obviously. So it's like I don't know. And maybe it doesn't matter to a certain degree cuz like maybe at altitude it could actually come into an effect. Like you're in the middle of an altitude race, like you take it right before like a 3K on like an indoor track or something and then boom, good to go.
Could help.
But
Could help.
maybe. I'm not sure how that works because I don't have an inhaler. You do, but
I just never used. I haven't. I would probably need to go to the doctor again to use it because I just haven't used it in a while.
fair.
I
But
ran in a while.
yeah. Back to Parvez Khan, there's definitely stuff that you should or should not be doing, but the big problem that I see with this is like, okay, maybe like all the pro athletes are doing it, but they're getting tested regularly. Like what Jakob Ingebrigtsen and Mokatir were like the two most tested athletes in like the past 2 years. Like the amount of times they got tested was like insane from what I heard. But obviously Mokatir missed the two tests and then boom, he gets suspended. Obviously, Jakob Ingebrigtsen is like one of the most popular, if not the most popular athlete for distance running in the world. He's,
Yeah.
the gold medalist in the 5K, one of the most talented middle distance runner, record holder in the 2K, 3K, 2K, 3K, and 2 mile, 2K, 3K, 2 mile, I believe,
I don't know.
something like that, something along those lines. But yeah, it makes sense that he would be obviously one of the most tested people. And the fact that, like, obviously, I'm not going to say they're getting away with it because if they're not taking over the legal amount, it's legal. Like, you can
Mhm.
take X amount of things as long as it's under the limit. So the problem is there's certain things that you just can't take at all. And obviously, performance enhancing drugs, there are some that you can't take. Obviously, it's so dumb that this is even a thing. But what worries me is in the NCAA, specifically Division One, drug testing is not that serious. Like I know you can probably attest to it to a certain degree at UMSL, but like at Lindenwood, the 2.5 years that I was there, the only time we ever got tested with the cross country team is you got tested, I think, once a year, maybe twice for like the specific seasons. But
Mhm.
one guy and one girl got randomly selected from the cross country team and would get taken down. And I got tested once. I had to go pee in a cup. That's all that is. You just go pee in a cup. So it makes sense. But it's just it's not that serious. And I'm imagining there's a lot of programs that they might not get tested at all. Like if you were allowed to select, I mean, I guess I don't know exactly how the testing works, but like imagine you're Parvesh Khan and he's one of so many guys on the track and field team and cross country team.
Mhm.
You could probably get away if you don't get tested in the 4 years that you're there, which there's not a high possibility that you do get tested, especially if
Mhm.
you're only taking one person from the team. You could potentially get away with all 4 years of not getting tested. And I think something that we were talking about is like, I really do think that everybody that qualifies for nationals should be tested. Every single person. Like, yeah, it's gonna suck if you find out that like somebody. Well, that's the thing. If you win your event at regionals, you're very likely to qualify for nationals. It's very rare that you could win your event and not make it to nationals. Obviously, there are extreme examples of not being able to go. Like if you're a weaker region. Like even us, we were in the OVC. The OVC is not a super strong
That's
or
a conference.
conference. That's
Yeah,
a conference. Yeah, it's technically not even a
that
region, but
conference speaks. To
yeah.
be fair. To
So
be
it's like, but the point is like, even if you do lose at OVC, like who's really getting upset that they lost to somebody who was doping at their conference when you're not qualifying for nationals anyways? Like maybe it definitely would suck. Like I'm not saying it wouldn't, but it's not nearly as deep as losing at like the national meet to what's it called? To like somebody that's doping. But the problem is
Mhm.
like Parvesh Khan won his conference for the 1500 and maybe the regional as well. I don't know exactly, but he didn't make nationals to my knowledge, right? Or did he or did he not make the past the first round? I
I
can't
don't know. I
remember.
think he didn't make it past first round. It's very rare that you don't see the SEC champ not at nationals.
Not at
So
nationals,
he
yeah.
probably just didn't make it through prelims, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he just didn't make it through prelims. I feel like he did make it to nationals, just didn't make it through prelims. But I mean, it
So
just sucks to
yeah,
see that conference. He wins his conference, and the person that comes in second is now finding out. Oh yeah, by the way, I got second, and I should have gotten first, but the guy was doping.
yeah.
What are you
It's
gonna say?
I was just gonna say like I don't think they have the time, and that NCAA doesn't want to put up the resources to do that because they do drug test before NCAA championships, but it's just completely random. Like it's
Which
not they don't select who. It's not like, oh, this guy had a really good race before nationals. Like, let's get him. Like, it's completely random. And they say that they don't have the time, but really, the NCAA just doesn't want to pour money into drug testing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
And
I mean,
I do think it's like it's on the NCAA to make it possible to drug test everyone, but like there also should be like some collaboration with the schools themselves. There's no reason that you're telling me that the NCAA and each college can't work together to drug test everybody that qualifies for nationals. There's just no reason to think that like the coaches can help get the kids time slots to go meet whoever and get tested. I mean, how many schools are going to the NCAA championships? I mean, don't be wrong.
quite a few.
There's definitely a lot, right? But you're telling me that the NCAA can't get people out to each of the schools? Like, there's only 50 states, one person in each state. Sure, there's some states that are really freaking big, and it might be a little bit of a drive, but at the same time, you got multiple days to test these kids. I don't think there's a reason
Yeah.
why the NCAA should not be putting up the funding at the very least to make sure every single person that goes to nationals is tested. I don't see the reason why that's not a thing already, especially with how prevalent doping can be and clearly is when Parvez Khan just got caught for EPOs.
Yeah. Like I said, I just think they don't want to put up the money to do it, which is
I
sad.
agree. Oh, I
But
agree
I mean, they're
100%.
greedy. We know the NCAA is greedy, dude.
Yeah,
We
I
know
mean, they
that.
don't care. It just sucks because I just think that track and field, they just don't care about it, which
No.
it it's talked about so often. Track and field could be such a big sport. It should be bigger than basketball and football. It should be. It's not. Look at the Olympics.
Yeah, it's every 4 years though.
At the Olympics, what's the most viewed sport?
Track,
Gymnastics and track and field and swim and dive, I believe. I think those are the big
probably.
three.
Yeah.
Where is basketball under that? Obviously, football's not in it. I think
Yeah,
flag football and
but
baseball are in LA 2028, but
yeah, but the thing, most countries and like some European countries dabble, but like most countries don't care about basketball, and I know every other country does not care about American football.
oh, for sure, for sure. That's not a question. Maybe I shouldn't say that it should be bigger, but it should be just as big. With the amount of personality we have, and you also have to like take into a factor that track and field, the NCAA track and field, I'm not just saying it's American viewership because look at all the other people from other countries. Do you see
yeah,
how many Europeans we have in the NCAA system? I mean, Josh Kerr was an NCAA champ. Jordy
mm,
Beamish, Ali Hoare, Morgan McDonald, Parvez Khan. These are all people from other countries that should be helping to bring in viewership. The track
Yeah.
and field should be so big in America, and it sucks that it's not. And it's things like the NCAA just not caring. I mean, it's not even that it's not the NCAA doesn't care. It's just not easily accessible. You have companies like FlowTrack that puts everything behind a
Drake, slow
paywall.
track, bro.
We hate FlowTrack. The
We hate slow track.
NCAA, I mean, all the meets you have to have
It's
ESPN
crazy.
Plus.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's fucking
And
terrible,
even
honestly.
then, the coverage is so awful.
It's
It is so
terrible. It
awful.
is terrible. The announcers don't know what they're talking about. And granted, I can only tell you about distance events, so I shouldn't like
Yeah.
be talking too much,
Trash them, but yeah, absolutely.
but like seriously, they don't know what they're talking about. It's terrible. And I mean,
Yeah.
not all of them. Not all of them, but most of them. And like you said, I mean, you can't even watch the 5K without getting 15 ads. Like or they just cut to different events, which like I get multiple events are going on, but I
Yeah.
mean, I think I feel worse for like throws because you might get one of your throws like having coverage for, but I mean, there's a lot of times that throws don't get any coverage at all. I mean, if you have a meet where the throws is, across the field, I mean, we've been to meets where the throwing pits were not anywhere close to the track. So like, there
Yeah.
are definitely times where it's just not possible, but it just sucks because
I
track and
think
field could be so much bigger.
yeah. Part of it's like I said, part of it's also greed, bro. Like you'll look at these Oregon meets and the stands are just completely I mean, they're not filled at all, bro. They're not filled at all. And it's because they make these tickets so freaking expensive that someone's not gonna pay $40 to watch a track. Like that's ridiculous. Like that is
Or
ridiculous.
another reason for it to be their stands to be empty is it's in Eugene, Oregon. Who wants to go to Eugene, Oregon? Please tell me. Who wants to go to Eugene, Oregon? I'm sorry. You
Still,
just
bro.
built the best track and field complex that we have in America in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah,
Why do you
that's
think people left Bowerman when they went there? Who wants to be in Eugene, Oregon? I'm sorry. Shoot, to be fair, I would love to be in Eugene, Oregon for that track specifically. But
yeah.
like outside of that, oh, Boulder, Colorado, Flagstaff, Arizona, the running hubs of the world. You host big meets there, the stands will be full because all the runners are there. That's where all the runners are. And I get that that's not the most ideal place to build a track, and it's not going to be the fastest times because it's at altitude, which that is like kind of a factor. You have to find middle ground to build a track where there's a big running community and fans that will go. Which like, and then you kind of have to think like, okay, Chicago, New York City, those are two really big places that it's a hub for runners. The amount of run clubs and people running down the boardwalk of or the riverfront of Chicago and through Central Park, it's ginormous. A ton of people running there, but they're not all track and field fans because it's not an easy thing to get into. Like it's just it all comes back to each other. Unfortunately, it all comes back to each other. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean historically though, or Eugene, Oregon is, that's kind of where it all began, to be honest.
of course, you have the Nike headquarters is out in Oregon. Like it makes sense that you would build that there, but unfortunately, it's just not an ideal place. And I mean, people talk about it all the time. If you want to go watch like NCAA trials and all this stuff, like it's so hard to get like lodging. Like the hotels are
Hmm.
booked. They charge so much for like those specific times because they know that's what's going on. You can't like get very close to the track, so sometimes you have to get a hotel far away and Uber there, or rent a car, or whatever. It's just not ideal. It really is not
Yeah.
ideal. It's not easy for anybody. Um, I mean, I get building a big track there, but it just can't be the only one at that point. Like you gotta have more options, more opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't just trying to out them. I know whenever Nate went to he had like an
Brian
audit
Clay?
out in Iowa. No, not even
Oh, I
Brian
was gonna
Clay. He
say.
went to watch Drake relays, and
Oh
he
yeah,
saw
yeah.
he saw Maxime Theron. So I mean, it was
Really?
definitely worth the price of admission. But it was, Drake is in. I think Drake is in Des Moines. Is that right?
Or Des Moines, Iowa?
Yeah,
Maybe.
bro. $35 to get in, bro. And this was, he said it was $35 for like the less popular day. Like I don't know if they charge more on the like the next day. I think he might have said that, but I could be wrong. That's like, dude, what the frick?
35 bucks is unreasonable.
Like for track, and especially, and I'm not saying it's not entertaining to me, but like the value, like $35 to watch a track meet in America, like that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You're really only going to watch specific events too, which like obviously kind of sucks, but like I'm not going to watch the 100-meter dash or the 110 hurdles. No offense, like those events are very, enjoyable to watch if that's what you're into. Nobody wants to go and watch the 10K, but I actually do want to go watch the 10K. Like that's the difference. Like I completely understand why people do not want to watch the 10K. It's not that interesting at like a low competitive level. The 10K at the Olympics was one of the most enjoyable 10Ks to watch that I've ever seen. And like I wish more were like that because I think people would enjoy it a lot more when it's, very just it's hard from the beginning. They put a hot pace out. It looks like they are running insanely fast because they are, and it's so fun to watch. People getting dropped, people making moves, the just tension between all the runners at the front. It was an amazing experience to watch. But unfortunately, they're rarely like that. So it's like, if you don't have somebody competing in the event, it's not easy to get through specific events.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes forever to get hurdles on and off the track. Oh my God, the hurdle crews, you got to give them props because it just takes forever. I was doing that at Stan State when I raced there. I was hurdle crew. I'm not even on the team. I was putting hurdles out and putting them back. I was doing whatever I could to help because I understand, like, it sucks. Luckily, most people do set schedules. They don't do rolling schedules. So it's like, starts at this time. So then when to warm up. But
I hate rolling, bro. I mean, it's good. It's nice
just hard.
to get through
It's just
it,
hard.
but bro, it's
Yeah.
so hard to line up when you want to warm up and stuff.
Yep. That is like probably the hardest part about a rolling schedule. But I want to keep talking about college running, but we should probably just finish talking about that subject just because it's like I think we're probably just kicking a dead horse at this point. The truth is nobody cares enough to do anything about it, unfortunately, and the people who do care don't have any power in the sport to do anything. We can't do anything as much as what we want to. All we can do is try to give more information on it for other people. We're just raising awareness at this point, and unfortunately, people with bigger following have been doing this for a long time, and if they can't get it done, there's nothing really that we're going to get done, but it's just something that I really wanted to touch on. But to continue on there they are. We got the sirens for the first day of the month every Tuesday. Our town tests his sirens, so I can my windows are open. I can hear that, but it's not that loud. To continue to talk about college, though, we touched on Mike Smith last week, but we were just guessing on some of the things that were going on. But now we have more information, largely thanks to the Coffee Club podcast. Ali Hoare, Morgan McDonald, Jordy Beamish talked quite a bit about it on their most recent episode, and dropping the fact that he was hired by Nike to be a head coach. So basically, to my knowledge and to my understanding, basically talking about what they were talking about. If you really want the specifics, just go watch the episode. But basically what's happening is Nike's hiring him to become a head coach based out of Flagstaff and continue to coach all the pro athletes that he's coaching. And one of the questions was, is he going to be allowed to continue to coach the people like Luis Grijalva, who's with Hoka, I think still he should be at least, and Nico Young, who's with Adidas? And the answer was he is allowed to keep the athletes he's currently coaching, but he's not allowed to add any more onto the team that aren't with Nike. So he also coaches like Woody Kincaid, who's a Nike athlete, obviously left Bowerman not too long ago. And I mean, I don't even know the rest of the runners. He's got so many out there, but like those are like kind of like the big three in a sense, plus a lot more. But basically, after this year, he's going to be. I really want to see a running group that can become the new Bowerman, and I think that this is a perfect place for it. You have one of the best coaches, actually, not one, the best NCAA coach that the NCAA has seen moving on from his college coaching job to coach a professional team, which is absurdly like it's very hyped up to the point where if they can do it correctly, if they can talk about it correctly, if they can make like the content that you want to see, make
Hmm.
some merch and whatnot, I genuinely think this would be the next Bowerman. And does it suck that it's, another Nike based track program, professional running program? I'm not mad about it because I love Nike. But I also understand like a lot of people probably do think like, should it have been Adidas? Should it have been On? Well, On already has one. Probably would be more reasonable to be Adidas. Maybe you kind of like merge Hobbs Kessler and um, Bryce Hopple, bring their
Oh
coach,
yeah.
take them and their coach, have them like combined with Mike Smith, and like make like a little mecca running organization where you have. The problem is they're both Adidas, but if
Yeah.
Adidas were to have gotten them, they really could have made a solid like group where, obviously Bryce Hopple and Hobbs Kessler work together. If they were to add those two with, Nico Young, Woody Kincaid, uh, Luis Grijalva, and just made this like disgusting group of people where they're not all going to be doing the same workouts, but they all train together and just, put them at NAU, or they're all in Flagstaff pretty much, have them train in Flagstaff, run their workouts at NAU, make some amazing content for like Adidas and whatnot, make this running group. It would have been really cool to see, but at the end of the day, nobody's got more money than Nike for running at
Yeah.
the very least, so it's not
Yeah.
surprising. And again, I'm not mad about it because I love Nike. So thoughts? What do you think? How do you
No,
feel
I
about
just.
Nike taking over?
I mean, like you said, it's no surprise Nike has the most money. And to be honest, bro, I just want good content. To
Same.
be completely honest, I mean, there's like some good content out. I'm really excited for track all access, but it's gonna be cross country all access. I think they said they had like 30 plus workouts planned for this season, so I'm really excited to see all that being posted. But it'd be super cool to get more behind the scenes with Mike Smith and all those runners you just listed. I mean, I loved watching Run with the Boys because it had I do like college running a lot more, but it had some stuff about Mike Smith, it had some stuff about all the athletes, and I really want something of that nature, like just more content like that. Because like I do like the workouts and the like all that's interesting, but it's more I'll say like cinematically pleasing to have a documentary style like that. But content's content. I will not complain as long as they put stuff out like that, which we don't know if they will or not. But it'd be awesome if they did.
I will say that at the end of this year, depending on what direction I go with my career, I've been very much thinking about ever since I graduated college and even till now, if I can't do content full time and I need to continue like a part-time job and maybe,
Hmm.
the gym's not cutting it and I need to make more money to continue to pay for my bills. Something that I've very much been toying with is going to a school to run social media and produce content. And like this is something I would love to do. Like if Nike said, "Hey, Luke, we've seen you do your docu-series and we're making a team out in Flagstaff. We want you to follow them around, run the social account, run a YouTube channel and do a docu-series where listen, I'm not saying that I could do a better job than running with the boys, but I am saying I could do a better job than running with the boys." Just saying. Like
Cinematically pleasing, absolutely.
I
Like
mean,
editing style, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
like you got to cut them some slack because it's like what was this 2017 or
5 years ago,
something.
yeah,
So
something
it's
like
like
that.
they don't have the technology we have now or the understanding. I mean, I went to school. I have a bachelor's degree in cinema arts. I know how to use a camera very well, honestly. And the fact that I film all of my own stuff, just imagine what I could do with a team. Like, let's just put it that way. Imagine what I could do if I wasn't the subject. Like, it makes me upset sometimes when I sit and watch a video and just think, they could have done this. Oh, they could have done this. Why didn't they do this? Like all these things are running through my head, like
Yeah,
how I would have done it in a sense. And like even there's times when I'm watching my own stuff back or like editing, and I'm just like, if I had two of me and I could have done X, Y, and Z, oh, this would have been so much better. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's just not the case. So I don't know. Maybe next year I might try to sneak into a program and like run socials or make some content because I do just think I would do a really good job at doing content for like a college running team.
Hmm.
I'd love to do it for a pro team. If I had the opportunity to make content for a pro team, I would take it without hesitation. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunately at the moment, like right now, building my YouTube channel is pretty huge for me because I can pull all my content from there and use it as basically a resume and say,
Hmm.
hey, this is what I do, this is what I can do, this is what I've done for the past, you know, year now of
Yeah.
just nonstop videos. And I think I could do a fantastic job of promoting your stuff. And I mean, listen, once you have the fan base, like it's easy to continue to build off that momentum and it's so easy to go to a college and, you have so many runners to make it where each week can be about a different runner. You can talk about the coach. You have a girls and a guys team for most places. Like the
Hmm.
amount of content is just untapped. That's the problem. There's so much potential. You just have to be willing to do it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have the perfect knowledge and execution to make just the best content for any college, any pro running team. I'm so here for it, but unfortunately, it's just I don't know that any college is looking to, pay somebody full time to go do that. So we'll see. But
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, if it would be social media and everything, you'd be dealing with every single team probably.
yeah, that's the biggest problem is most colleges don't have a specific social media person for just running. Probably Oregon probably does, honestly. I bet you
Yeah.
Oregon probably
That
has
the huge teams. Yeah, probably.
yeah. But unfortunately, I mean that's the thing. It's like, NAU probably made the deal with Flow Track. They're like, "Oh yeah, you can come make this for our team and put it behind a paywall and we were not even going to cost you any money because or like we're not going to pay you to do it, but you can
Yeah.
come do it type of thing." And they probably had connections at the time, so I
Yeah.
mean, either way, it's just like whatever. But there's only one other thing I wanted to talk about, which is pre-meet. But is there anything you want to talk about?
No,
All
nothing
right,
new
well,
with me.
this week I am racing a 7K on Saturday,
Yes,
and
sir.
guess who's coming to watch me?
Would be me. I would be me.
It's Johnny Key, which is really depressing because I was supposed to come watch you at Lewis, but
Illinois Springfield.
no, I was supposed to come watch you at Lewis this season,
Oh,
but
like this season. Yeah.
yeah, but never know.
It doesn't
Maybe you get
matter. It doesn't
injections.
matter.
Maybe you get injections and keep
Yeah.
running, and I see you
Yeah.
at Lewis.
Yeah. We take it 1 week at a time, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. But how are you feeling for this little spicy 7K?
I'm feeling really good this morning. Obviously, like I said, good workout. Get tomorrow easy 60-minute run in the morning, 30-minute double in the afternoon. Thursday, I'll probably just do 8 miles, nice and easy. Friday, we have a pre-meet workout, so
Mm-hmm.
run that on the track, and then a 4-hour drive down to St. Louis, St. Charles more specifically. See my sister, probably drive up. I gotta go pick up my packet. Packet pickup is like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or no, opposite, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So
Okay.
I'm gonna run over to St. Peter's, which is like a 10-15 minute drive from where my sister lives. Pick up my packet, maybe swing by Lakeside 370 and get some drone clips for the docu-series. I was thinking about like trying to do like a little shakeout on like the bike. I'm definitely not running. That's not happening, but I was thinking about doing like a little bike shakeout, but I don't even think we're gonna bring a bike down, so whatever. And then yeah, Saturday morning, gonna get up probably get up around like 4:35. I gotta be over there probably by like 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see when I get to bed, but yeah, and then hoping to run around like 5:10 pace, I'd say. I really do think I could probably run faster. It's just there's probably not going to be competition, and without competition, it's just so hard. It's so hard.
Looking at the results last year, you will not have competition, not even in the slightest.
I sent Johnny all the information. He's looking at it, he goes, huh, 7:10 pace. And I was like, are you sure that's the 7K? He's like, wait, no, this is the 5K. Let's look at 10K or 7K. What was it, like 6:30, 6:45?
A girl ran 6:30 pace. So a guy won the
Yeah.
5K in like 7:10 pace, and a girl won the 7K with 6:30 pace. Which props to her, to be honest.
Sure, absolutely. No, without a doubt. So yeah, a little unfortunate because obviously I ran 4 miles this morning at sub 6 minute pace at the end of my workout. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely running sub 5 or sub 6 minute
So
pace. It's just the
yes,
question of,
yes, dude. Sub 5. Let's go. Let's
you know,
go.
I wish I could do that. Unfortunately, I am not a
Let's
D1
do it.
athlete. So
It don't matter. It don't matter, dude. It's only a 7K. You're telling me you can't go sub 4 for I don't even know
over
how many
four
miles that
miles,
is. A little over
it's over
4.
4, but that'd be
Eh.
like 5K PR pace. That's the
Yeah,
point.
good. Good. Let's break it. Let's
Yeah,
do
I'm
it.
gonna break my 5K PR on Saturday. Honestly, if I ran a 5K PR Saturday, I'd probably stop at 5K and not finish the race.
53. I don't know.
I'd
I think that
two more kilometers. That would be rough.
so. I mean, you also have it.
I
It
don't,
don't matter. It don't
I don't
matter.
know if I have it in me.
You
Do I
do.
have that dog in me to finish 2 more K? I'd be
I
so
think
far
so.
ahead. I might be able to just jog like 8 minute pace for the last 2K and still
And
win.
when?
Honestly,
Yeah. I believe.
we'll see. We'll see. All I care about is Johnny Key being there. I'm so excited to see you.
I'm excited too, bro. I still
We
gotta
finally
get
get to
someone to cover my
reunite.
shift. I
Oh,
know.
oh, that's not. It's Tuesday. You're trying to get somebody to cover your Saturday shift?
Yeah, dude, I'm still trying to get someone to cover my shift today. I have class. I have class.
Johnny, you get that covered.
No, I know I am. I will. Well, it's at what time's your race?
8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, worst comes to worst. I mean, I'll be fine, but like, I'd rather have the whole day. You know what I mean?
Hang out at Lindenwood. Maybe go play some
Yeah.
disc golf. Go watch the game
Yeah.
at 6.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah, vibes
That's
will
the
be
plan.
high. That's for sure.
Vibes will be. I need this. I need
I
this.
need.
It's like
I need
Fortnite
it.
every day. I need it. I need
I
it
need
desperately.
it. If I don't get this, I might just have to text her.
What?
What?
All right. On that note,
On that note, do no? Should we just tease something?
sure.
I posted a picture on my personal Instagram the other day, a story. I reposted somebody else's story, a pro runner, and the pro runner liked my story. So
I
guys,
think you're
tell me in
in.
the comment section below, do I DM this pro runner and say, "Hey, I saw you like my story. What do you think?"
Yeah. So probably don't start off with that. But
No, it's okay. We can talk about it
shoot or
next time if you
shoot.
want.
Shoot or shoot. I'd rather go 0 for 10 than 0 for 30. Or wait, no, I'd rather
Other
go
way
0 for
around. Other
30
way around.
than 0 for 10 because if I went 0 for 10, that means I stopped shooting.
There you go. And with that, that's all from us today. It's your favorite
Wise
blonde duo
words.
signing off. Wise words from Johnny Key, who's never had a girlfriend. And we'll see you guys later. Take care, love all things, and peace out.